Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, gals, in YouTube land here? Hey, I want to thank you guys for clicking on, this video. We have many videos. I think this will make video 28. We have 27 right before this, guys, and we're starting to gain momentum here, on the channel. So if you're new to, the channel, hey, welcome on board. We're in the early stages of our YouTube channel. If you're over in our group over on Facebook, hey, I want to thank you for, being members over in, the group and all that. If you're not a member over in the group, we have 67.9 thousand over in, the group. That's awesome. And what we want to do, we want to try and grow the YouTube channel just like, the group and all that. I talked to a buddy of mine, that I know from YouTube here. Good guy, all around good guy, called Pat Flynn. That's PATFLYNN, Pat Flynn. He tells you about, doing a podcast, tells you about many different, things. Matter of fact, Pat is, the one I went to, and I was listening, and I was looking to start a podcast. And big kudos go out to Pat Flynn. Pat, if you're out there, I love to get you on, my podcast, sometime. Talk about, C10 trucks and, all that. Find out if you're a car or truck guy, and all that. That would be, awesome. Anyways, I started out with a small little, matter of fact, here it is. I started my podcast with a little recorder like this and that little lapel mic that you guys get over on Amazon. It was I think $3.99. I was cheap. I wanted to start cheap and all that, so I got this, and I got the little mic with the wire on it and all that. And I guess you kind of get what you pay for, because I got exactly what I paid for, guys. And I won't go back to, the cord mic on, the little lapel. That little lapel mic, it was cheap and easy, to get. I thought it would sound, good, but if you know our old Hot Rod magazine, I did, interviews, with that mic, and, this, and, the mic, it was all choppy and messed up, and stuff. I spent more days over on that computer over there. What I'm pointing to is we have 3 computers here in the studio, and each one is set up for, like, this one that I'm talking on, we did the magazine on, and some metal prints and all that. That computer over there does all the editing for, the podcast, all that stuff. The other computer on the side back there is for interviews, for the magazine, so we have editing software on, the PC and, the Macs. So, matter of fact, all these computers have the editing software for, the podcast. So, if one goes down, I can use another one. And then check this out, guys. The other day, I was cleaning, I got the cleaning bug. So, I cleaned the whole office. If you saw the office, the studio here, it was all my t-shirt fell off right back there. It was I'll fix that here in a minute. I'll fix that before I go live. But anyways, I had another iMac computer I was gonna get rid of because I was moving stuff up, and on my desk right here I have two computers and a printer, and that's enough right here. Well, I had that other computer right up here as well, right? And the printer over on the side. Well, that was too much, too cluttery. Right now it got its papers and all that, but papers are easy to, pick up and put away. Anyways, that Mac, I'm not selling that Mac. And it has, my other software on it. So I have three Macs. I have two backup Macs, one backup PC. Anyways, PC is for just the magazine, edits, articles, all that, and it's for bill paying, that right from that computer. So every computer has, it certain something. So anyways, that other, make a long story short, that other computer is in my bathroom. Now it's not a regular bathroom, it's a man's bathroom. You go in there, I got Hot Wheels all over it, I got metal prints all over it, and then at the far end of the bathroom I have a little table set up, and I have my other computer in there. And sometimes I'll get ideas from the powder room, and maybe by the time I get out to the computer, I've forgot that ideas. So I got a good old computer right here in the bathroom. Bathroom's all cleaned up. It looks, we have a door from the hallway into the bathroom that I keep locked, so you can't come in from the hallway. You need to come into the studio to go into that bathroom. And it's what it kind of turned out to be is extension of my studio. Before I used it just for pretty much a catch-all. I put some stuff just in there. It was all cluttered, and then I started thinking, well, what am I gonna do with that mag on the ground? Then the other day I got the cleaning bug. Boom. I cleaned all that. I'll show that to you maybe, later on. But anyways, big shout out to Pat Flynn. He is the reason I have that set up right, back there. All professional gear back there, to sound professional out there on, the airwaves and all that. And guys, we are worldwide. That is, so awesome. Anyways, I had started the podcast with this right here. I was doing interviews for, probably 5-6 years with that Hot Rod magazine. And we're using this right here. And this only does mono, only one channel of audio. So we take and we plug the mic in right here, put it on us, and then I have a splitter, so it'll split the line. I can have two mics plugged in here, and that it worked out okay for 5 years, and I didn't go check out any other mics and all that. Excuse me. And then I was scouring the internet thinking about, hey, I want to do a podcast, and all that stuff. And then, I found Pat Flynn right here on YouTube. And, dude, I love that guy. He's a walking wealth of knowledge. This cat knows his stuff, and I think he's been doing, you know, you know, these videos or podcast help videos and all that. Since he's been doing his podcast since the early 2000s, and he's pretty cool, and right when I got on there, maybe I'm not talking, about everybody else, but how I felt like he was talking right to me. So that was awesome, and pretty much what he told me is what I'll tell you. I won't go into every detail because he is the director of getting folks on to doing a podcast. I am just following in his footsteps. He is a teacher. He is a podcast teacher, man. And I was a good student that listened and all that. And he was so right that he said pretty much, get off your butt and go do it. If you don't do it, then nobody else is gonna give you a podcast with a name established, with an audience, with the advertising. That would be great if they did, or they do, but they're not gonna do it. You need to get in there. You need to roll up your sleeves and get in there and do all the hard work. You got to get in there and be the grunt. Go in there and just crawl through the dirt, get all dirty, and stuff, and do the actual work. So anyways, I am so glad that Pat said that. It kind of resonated with me. I thought he was talking right to me, guys. And so pretty much he said, get off your duff and go out there and start a podcast. And he's like, it doesn't matter if you have only a cell phone. Get a cheap mic or whatever, or even just use a mic in your phone. Just start out. And he said, you know what? Don't worry about how many people at first come to listen. Don't worry about getting advertising. Don't worry pretty much about other things beyond your control. Just get out there and do it. And something else Pat said was pretty much a lot of people nowadays put things off for tomorrow. They say, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll get to it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, so what happens? They don't get to it. They never get to it. And then they just kind of say, well, you know what? Okay, I'll get to it, tomorrow. And then they double down. They say, again, and then, but it's like a never-ending cycle. And so I would like that for a bit, and stuff like that. But I have, this awesome, C10 passion, and I came from awesome passion that I got from a dad at an early age. And then a big shout out to, I don't know if you guys remember Boyd Coddington. Boyd Coddington, dude, he is my all-time go-to hot rod icon, Boyd Coddington. And I say that with a heavy heart because, I miss a guy. And I was just starting to get to know him right when, we lost him. And, I remember I'll give you a quick little story, but me and Dad lived in California, and we took and we moved to Yorba Linda probably when I was 15, and so this time I was maybe about 2021 something like that. I'm 52 now, and Boyd Coddington had his shop right down in the other city, and we're in Yorba Linda. He was in Placentia, and I remember one hot summer afternoon, I was in my car, and I didn't have any digital nice camera yet. So I asked Mom, I said, Mom, can I borrow your camera? Now, Mom had one of those film cameras with 35 millimeter film. You had to buy the film, then you had to pay to have it developed. Well, anyways, I said, can I borrow your camera? I'll be right back. I'm going down to Boyd's. They're all, oh, okay, well, here, be careful, So I go down there. I remember I pulled up to Boyd's shop. This was, I think, before his TV or television show, or right at the beginning of it. It was, something like that, real close. I remember I pulled up in front, two glass double doors there, and Boyd Coddington, rims, Boyd rims, and, all that stuff. So I pulled up there, and I was shaking like this shit, shaking like a leaf, guys, because I was nervous, and I was kind of wet behind the ears, and yeah, even though I was about 21 or something like that, I was still a little nervous. This was back in 1994, about 1994, the hot summer of 94. So I get my camera, all that. I walk up, I open the door, and walk in, and there's a reception desk right up front. And if you know anything about Boyd, or you watched his show, that he had his ex-wife Diane working at the shop. I guess it was cheaper to keep her. And so, anyways, she was handling, the phone calls and, everybody that walked through that front door like I did. And when I walked up, as soon as I set foot inside the showroom, she comes out from behind, the desk, the cubicle, whatever, and she's saying, I don't belong there. What's your name? Who are you? Who are you with? What are you doing here? You're going to have to leave because, who are you? And she just went on and on and on. And so she was walking me back to the, front door where I initially came in. And then all of a sudden, I hear footsteps come down, the hallway, and I see out of the corner of my eye kind of a statue of a man standing up, a big, broad, man with big, broad shoulders, with a nicely cut beard, glasses, and, his hair, and he was wearing a red Boyd Coddington cap, and he had one of his kind of hot rod shirts on that he's kind of famous for wearing. So he walks out, and I see him before Diane sees him, and he's behind Diane's right here in front of me, so her back is right here. Well, Boyd came out, and he stood right behind Diane, and he takes his legs, and he puts his legs apart, and then he crosses, the arms, and then he taps her on the shoulder, and by the way, she does not know Boyd is standing right behind her. He taps her, and then she sees, it's Boyd right back there, and she's like, "Oh, hey, Boyd, I got this, no problem. You just came in, I'm gonna get him out of here, no problem." He's "Go wait in my office. I got this. Go wait in my office." And she's like, "No, Boyd, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it." He's like, "No. You see, I didn't ask. I said, go wait in my office." And without any arguments, whatever, she just, stood down, and then she went back to his office and all that. And then, he comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing? Can I help you? Is there something I can help you with?" And, I tell him, "Well, what, me and Dad see you guys out there at the shows, all the time. We love, all your creativity, all your designs, and love your rims, and we see you out there unveiling all these, cars and all that." And I said, "I am just a small, young, aspiring hot rod photographer. And, I don't live, too far away. So I thought, I would come by and, see if there was, a chance that I could, shoot some cars, down here. You got, this nice, I think it was a 34, Ford Coupe. It was all decked out in, the showroom." And then he said, "You know what, kid? He's, you can shoot anything you want. He's, just, let me know, when you're done, before you leave, that he's, you got free reign to shoot whatever you want." I'm, "All right, thank you." And he's, "I'll be in my office, so if you need me, you come get me." And right before he went to his office, he opened the door and let me out in the shop when, the guys were out there doing metal fab, and stuff like that. And he went up to this one certain guy, and I didn't know why he went up to, the one guy. I know now. He was, I guess, the shop foreman in charge of, the shop or whatever. So he was working on this, I forget the car that he was working on. It'll come to me probably later on, and then, I can tell you in, the live, or the live, or, the other YouTube video tomorrow. Excuse me. But anyways, he tells his shop foreman, "Hey, this is Rich, he's here. He wants to shoot, all the cars. He's aspiring hot rod photographer. We need to help support him. I said he can shoot anything he wants, in here and, in the showroom. So, whatever he wants to shoot, I want you to let him shoot that. He's okay, Boyd, no problem. I got it, sir. It's Boyd's hey, have fun. He's if you need anything, I'll be inside in my office. And he walked back in. So I was shooting, everything out there. One of the ones, the guy that he went on the shop foreman was working on this one car I can't think of right now, but it was in the metal fab stages. And right now, after I find out the name, I'm drawing blank right now, but right now I'll give you the name later on, and then you can Google that name. But they shot it, I guess, like canary yellow, and it came out awesome. Anyways, I had pictures of it in metal fab when they were still doing the metal fab on it. I have photos, of that. That is so awesome. Anyways, I shot everything I wanted, right? So I told the foreman bye, told the other guys thank you, so I'm leaving. I go back in the showroom, and right when I walk in, I don't know if Boyd heard the door shut, heard my voice, whatever, but he walked out from the office down the hallway to the showroom right there, and he asked me, he's like, hey son, did you get everything you wanted, everything you needed? And I said, yes, I did. And he walked up to me, and I'll remember until the day I die, until, my last breath, I'll remember. He walked right up to me, and he put his arm around me. He took his index finger right here, and he pointed in my chest. And he said, hey, kid, keep shooting. You never know where it might lead. And you know what? From 1994 until now, I'm 52 now. I was 21 back then when Boyd said that. I kept shooting. Where did all that time go, man? It was like when I turned 18, Mom and Dad told me a long time ago, okay, son, you're 18 now. It's going to be downhill from here. I did not believe that, or maybe I was stupid and did not want to believe it. And I definitely believe that now, because I'm like, you know what? I never wore glasses. I never had my knees ache from, jumping off tailgates of delivering paint. I did all that stupid stuff when I was younger. But anyways, I'm paying for it now. But now that was awesome. That was, kind of inspirational, motivational, and it would just off the chain, off the charts. You have somebody like Boyd Coddington, somebody that you grew up with, seeing out there at all these shows, and I thought I was gonna get just turned away right away at his shop and all that, but well, if he didn't come out, I would have got thrown out the door. But that's the kind of man Boyd is. He is, because Boyd is, alive and well. I don't think Boyd is, gone. Boyd's spirit lives on, and that is, awesome. And going to hot rod shows and all that, guys. I started collecting hot rod shirts like Boyd would wear. My soon to be mother in law, she gets me these hot rod shirts, and they're I want to get one like Boyd had, with Woody's on it. Then I could wear that to some shows and all that. That would be awesome, guys. But anyways, no, for even a 21-year-old kid, which I was back then, to have somebody that you looked up to in the hot rod world say that to you, that right there, that and Dad taking me out to all the monster truck shows, all the classic car shows, all that. Them two guys really shaped my career, my path that I wanted to go down. And that was awesome. And then my God, my Jesus, my Lord and my Savior, made, all that happen and kept all that, in tight, and then I got the inspiration, the motivation from, Boyd and from Dad. So, in my book, those two guys are my heroes, and because I look up to both, of those guys, very, very, highly. Anyways, guys, we're at 7:18. I think we're going to 7:30. I haven't had, that long on, the YouTube, video. But anyways, I'm going to give you a little rundown. That was a little monologue, I gave you guys, but made a list of, things I want to talk about real quick here. If I can even say it real quick. Hey guys, I was talking about that awesome podcast we have right back here. Anyways, I took and a couple of days ago, I've been talking to Joe Coddington, the second wife of Boyd. She is awesome. Joe Coddington, oh my God. She is into everything Boyd was into, hot rods, all this and stuff. And my buddy, late Daniel James, that wrote for us in, Busted, we went out to SEMA to Vegas for 2019, and we're able to, meet, Joe out there. That was, was so cool. And I thought what was also so cool is me and Dan were talking to Joe, and then other people like her friend, Greg, and, other people that were on, Boyd's show back in the day came to see her, at SEMA. So they came up and they started talking to her. So, I thought, well, I don't know them. I'm going to give her, time to talk to them. So me and Dan walked away. And no sooner than I walked away, then she came over to, me. And she said, where'd you go? I'm all, well, those were, folks on the, show and your friends and all that. And I just let you go ahead and talk to you. They came over to talk to you, and all that. So she grabs my arm and she pulls me back over to, the whole group of people, her friends and, Boyd's friends and people that were on the show, all that. I didn't know anybody from Adam, right? And she hits my hand for a minute and she tells everybody, she's this is Texas Rich and his buddy, Dan, that writes for the magazine, and they came all the way from Texas, and they own an awesome hot rod magazine back there in Texas, and then everybody, we met everybody, and I thought that was so cool that I did not plan that. I came out to talk to Sue, or I mean, Sue's another story, but I just came out to talk to Joe, and then her friends and all that came. So I thought, well, you know what? I'm gonna back up when she's done. She'll come back over and we'll continue the conversation. But no, she had me meet everybody from the show and all her friends and stuff like that. And I met at the show too. Von Hot Rod was out there, a famous pinstriper out there. If you're watching Von, hey, what's up, buddy? See you guys soon, probably at, maybe another show, coming up. And then tomorrow on Tomorrow is Live, I'm going to share a little story with you about the time I got, the call from California, or the email from California, about a show out there, and I'll give you the whole rundown story on that tomorrow. I'll save that for Fridays, C10 America mornings. This is, by the way, I forgot, sorry. This is C10 America mornings right here on YouTube. That's, awesome. For a long time, I did not know what to name it. So, there we have it. C10 America mornings right here, on the channel. This video right now is being brought to you guys by that blue license plate on the back wall back there. Connor's Car Show. Big shout out going out to Ty Jetman, Lydia Jetman. You got Braden, you got Elizabeth, you got Darren. Yes, I did not forget you, Rudy. You got Rudy and the many volunteers that come together each and every year to make that one awesome show. And then, guys, I got news from our family friend. Last night he contacted me, and I guess they ran tests all night and everything on him and all that, and came back that he does not have cancer. Our family friend does not have cancer. So it is totally awesome. So anyways, he's still in the hospital. I guess he's still not out of the woods quite yet, but they ruled the biggest thing out. So that is it. Thank you for all your thoughts, all your prayers. I did a prayer chain in the group for a couple days, and all that stuff. And Miss Terry and myself and my dad and all of us, we were praying for our family friend, and I think part of our prayers got answered yesterday, and I heard from him, and he sounds in good spirits now. I know before when I talked to him, he wasn't in that good of spirits, and well, that's honest to think when you're thinking about something that big. Of course, it's gonna change your mind thought. Of course, it's gonna make you scared, all that stuff. So good thing, they took and they ruled, that out. So that is, awesome. So, anyways, I did talk to Joe Coddington. I invited her to be on, the podcast. So she'll be out of town for, the 4th of that. So we're going to take and I think I have a little bug down there on the carpet. They need to spray this. Anyways, I want to thank, all you guys for, your prayers. I need to put my probably socks on because my feet, my legs are getting eaten up here. Anyways, guys, I want to thank each and everybody out there that took and, prayed for, our family and friend. That is, awesome, guys. Anyways, we sent an email out like probably a couple weeks back to Jay Leno. Jay Leno's garage. We'll send, another email out. It's been a couple weeks. We haven't heard anything. I do have a friend in California that ran into Jay Leno at a show out there. And then, by the way, guys, let me turn this fan on. Oh, it's on. It's not that high. Hold on. Oh, hold on. I don't want to do that. Hold on. All right, I'm back, guys. I should have probably done on this stuff before, I started recording, but you know what? I didn't think my legs would get eaten up, So need to spray again. Yes, the people that had this apartment before us had cats, had many cats and all that. So I think that's why. So that's awesome. I just cover up my, legs like that. They can't eat through, my socks, all that stuff. Anyways, we did 2 weeks ago. We sent an email out to Jay Leno. So hopefully him or his team, somebody, they get back to us because we want to take and put him on, the podcast. I know many cars fill up his, car barn, and I want to see maybe perhaps he has a, C10 in there, and if he does, boom, that's the way we can get Jay on, the, podcast back here. That would be, so awesome. Then we did before we sent an email out to Joe Martin of our resurrection. I had a frog in my throat there. That was kind of hard to say, but I said it. Anyways, probably a month ago we did that. We got confirmation back. We got an email back that said we need to contact this other guy. He is, I guess, the the handler, or the guy that works with Joe Martin for events and all that stuff. His agent, I guess. So, anyways, we'll take and we'll contact him, and then we found out that this agent guy, he's the same guy that he represents Joe, and then that TV show Texas Metal with Bill. I can't pronounce his last name, but Bill, right down there in Houston at Exclusive. Anyways, this agent is an agent for Bill and for Joe. So that is awesome. And the lady that I talked to before, she said to contact his agent. She said, we want a list of what you're gonna ask him and how long the podcast is gonna be. If it's gonna be like an hour-long podcast, and all the things you want to ask and touch base on. So I guess they're not blindsided, and they want to know if it's a legit podcast, because maybe a lot of people say that they're just Google Gaga over that star or whatever. I was like that when I was young. I got kicked out of a country concert in Temecula. That might be another story sometime. But yeah, so now I like to think I grew up, a little bit, not all the way, just a little bit, enough. So, anyways, this Sunday, if you guys heard me over in, the group, or you heard me on, the video yesterday, me, Dad, or going to look at a 1985 Chevy C10, and I might be getting this, C10 Sunday. I'm so jazzed. I'm like, a kid in a candy store, man. I can't show all my cards to, the guy yet. But you know what? I am bringing, that awesome tripod right there. And I am bringing this phone right here. It'll be fully charged, ready to go. And if I get that truck, dude, I'm even bringing a C10 America sticker in case I get it and we drive it home. Then the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to have that camera on the whole time, I guess. And then I'll take the sticker and, folks, it's my truck, check it out. Then I'll take this and boom, put it on, the back window. So I'm not going to tell you guys all about the truck. You have to wait and see for yourself. It will be freaking awesome. I think you guys will like it. You'll definitely know when I'm around town in your area, because you're gonna see that truck. And if you see that truck, you're gonna know it's me out there. So that'll be awesome. Then, anyways, if I can, real quick, I wanna let's see. No, that ain't it. Where is? I thought I had it on the paper where here for the show. Anyway, see if I can remember this. Give you the truck show rundown. Will be at We'll be at the Classic Truck Nationals right down there in Gainesville. That'll be August 30th. Put on by Sean and Diane Settles. Diane just became a member over there in Facebook in the group. That is, awesome. I think Sean's over there too, but we'll be down there. We won't have a booth per se. We'll be walking around shooting. By the way, guys, if you see us out there walking around shooting, don't be shy. We want to meet you. We want to see your awesome truck. Come up, talk to us. Take us back to your truck and show us what you did to make that truck yours. You did this. You did a LS swap. You did a bedwood insert in the bed. You chopped the bed, made it a short bed from a long bed. You put airbags on it. You got new rims on it. All this stuff that you did to make your truck you. We want to, hear about that. See, they do not stop. It's almost 8 o'clock, and you guys never stop. You keep calling. I'm doing a live, and I don't want to talk to you guys. Sometimes you got to put your foot down and just pretty much tell them, hey, you know what? No. So that's why I'm changing my number, because, all those calls, just keep coming in. I put them on going to voicemail, but they get around the voicemail, somehow. Anyways, guys, if you want to help out, the channel isn't quite, there yet. We haven't reached, the level to get monetized, yet from YouTube. If you want, we have a tip jar right down below, aka donation link. If you want to drop like 25 cents in the bucket right there, going out, hey, everything adds up and it helps us on wear and tear on, getting out to, your shops, your garages, different states, different cities, all that. And then, it helps on, updating, the equipment for the podcast and all that, because when we come out, we're doing a podcast and we're streaming live to, the group and, all that stuff. So if you want to, it's there. If you can't afford to, do anything, you know what? I don't want you to. Don't worry about it. I throw it out there because, we have it over in our group and all that. People want to, help us. Their generosity, that's awesome. That thought is even right there. If you want to, help and you can't, that's enough right there. The thought that you would, if you could, that means so much. So, if you can, don't even worry about. My screen keeps on going dark here. Anyways, we'll be coming out to shops, garages, man caves, all that. Maybe you guys are doing a build for, SEMA or, PRI or, something like that. We want to come out there. We want to see what you guys are working on. I know if you're doing a Riddler build, we can come out and shoot it and do it. But we'll take, if we're shooting a Riddler build and you're out there, we're going to hang on to it until you take that truck to, that show. So we're going to hang on to that. If you're not even kind of thinking, or you don't want anyone to see the truck, you're building for the Riddler, and so we can, excuse me, so we can come and do content on it. We understand totally, and what I just tell you guys is we don't have a big team that videos and all that. It's only me and the soon to be wife. That she goes out there. I do everything. I'm a man in a one man band, and she goes out there, helps me set up the cameras and all that stuff, and then I do the interviews and all that, and she'll walk around with the camera and stuff like that. So it's only a 2-person operation, her and me. But if that's out of the realm of doing that, maybe you don't want to, but you want to after the show, we can do that, because I know a lot of guys doing a semen build. That's okay, that's fine. But if you're doing a Riddler build, one of the rules is you can't show that build to anybody, because you have a chance of being disqualified, where everybody else is following that rule and then you don't follow it, and then they don't do anything to rein you in for not following the rules, when everybody out there followed the rules. That's not fair. So anyways, I understand why they have we have rules over in our group, and people break them every day. And you know what, I kick them out. I don't give them a second chance. I just boom kick them out, because they're in the rules. It says if you break the rules one time, you're gonna do it again. And I've had somebody do it again. I gave them a second chance, but you know what, they ruined it for everybody out there. And then I said Connor's Car Show is the title sponsor of this magazine and that podcast right back there. So they're over at the Keller Town Hall, right on Bear Creek Parkway, the location for Connor's Car Show. So if you need to find out any more info on Connor's Car Show, go connorscarshow.com. If you want to donate to their awesome cause, all their money goes to the kids with special needs. I think they help out the Scottish Rite Hospital, Cook's Children's Hospital, and the Down Syndrome Partnership. So when you're giving over there, all your money over there goes to all the kids out there. So that is a great car show to go to check out. If you haven't been there, you need to go. It's one that I wait for every year to go to, so that is awesome. And then I want to say once again, thank God that my buddy, our family friend, got the good news from the doctors out there. That is so good. They had to find out what's wrong with them, but they eliminated one thing out of the mix, so it's something else. But we're so happy for that. Before I get off here, guys, on the YouTube, I took before, at the time, they were the newest T-shirt logos that I designed. Now, with my friend and myself, we did probably about 30, 35 T-shirt logos, and we have a new vendor for doing our T-shirts online, on demand, all that. And we'll get those put up, soon. Then we'll advertise them in, the group, and then we'll advertise them here, on YouTube. Anyways, this one, I love this one. It's Fueled by Faith and WD-40. That is so cool right here. Fueled by Faith and WD-40. This right here, my friends, is me all the way. We're at 747. And then this one, Jiminy Christmas, folks. That's one awesome C10 right here. That is so cool. And then Chrome Don't Shine Without the Light right here. And all these will be, available on T-shirts. This one, everybody over in our group, they love this one. Raised Right, Slammed Low. We have another shirt. I haven't formally designed it. I sketched it, out, but it's just slammed more than my coffee. Slammed more than my coffee. Then we're gonna see about putting a square body on there that is slammed to, the ground. So that is awesome. Hey folks, I want to thank all you guys for coming in, watching our YouTube videos. We have many more, probably either down below or over on this side, or that side, probably that side. Anyways, thanks for all your support on the channel. And I think with this, it makes episode number 28, I believe, and we'll be coming to your garages, your shops out there. We want to see these awesome, C10 builds out there, because we're going to be not only streaming it live, we'll have the YouTube camera 4K up and going. We'll be doing a podcast with you as well. We might come early, set the cameras up and set up, our mobile, podcast right there. If you guys have, a table or a workbench, we set up, the podcast gear, and then probably set up the cameras first, and then we can set up the gear, had the camera, the 4K rolling as we're doing setup, so you guys can see, the inner workings of getting everything together, and all that. I think that would be, cool. Plus, if you guys want to sign up for the awesome magazine, I'm going over to Dad's earlier, or probably after my 9 o'clock live, for a bit to work on my car, and then I'm gonna come back here. But I have that folder right back there. It has pretty much everybody that signed up for the magazine, and folks that signed up or bought metal prints, and we have their email, and stuff, on there. So I want to get everybody's email. We're making a new, C10 America list, and we're putting everybody on the list. We'll get, issue number 5 sent out by later on, tonight to everybody out there that signed up. It's supposed to come out tomorrow on, the 4th. We're on the, 3rd today, so that is, totally, awesome, guys. So, anyways, hey, thanks for watching. Remember, hit that like button down there or that subscribe. I think right next door is a little icon in the shape of a bell. Go ahead and hit that right there. You get notified probably every morning, because every morning I'm dropping a new YouTube video on there. Right now it's the C10 America mornings right here from the studio, and I'll keep on doing these. Then we'll be throwing other stuff in here as well to grow the channel. But hey, once again, guys, I want to thank each and everybody out there. Hope we have new people sign up. I jumped in today. We had a new person sign up, so I think right now we have 27 folks signed up that are subscribed, not signed up. So that is, totally awesome. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to take a break, go make something to eat, do what I need to do, pay a bill, all that, and try to do all this before, I go live for 9 o'clock. And if you guys want to watch, the live over on Facebook, go to facebook.com, look for, C10 America. You'll find it over on Facebook. And before I get off here, guys, I just want to hit this home. We got contacted by Meta, probably, a couple weeks back, right? And they congratulated, us, and I was wondering what for. Anyways, I guess through our 2-3 years of, doing lives, doing content on Facebook, we brought over 8 million new people to Facebook through our group. We have 67.9 thousand members over there, and you're thinking, oh, that don't add up to 8 million. No, it doesn't. But we're a public group. You can come into our group and check our group out before becoming a member. So you can check out the group even before you're a member. So that's probably how we brought over 8 million people. And our videos and all that, they've been going up in viewership, and all that. So that is so cool. It's all because you guys out there. So anyways, if you're not signed up, you're a member in the group. Type in member 5 over on Facebook, and we'll find you and we'll sign you up for only $5 for 1 year. If you're not a member, but you want to be in the group and you're not a member, head over to www.c10americamagazine.com. Get signed up for only $10. $10. That is still a smoking hot deal, guys, for only 1 year. That's something we're doing that a lot of people out there do not do. We're not charging your card again after you guys end your subscription, or it ends, and then some people say, oh, it's only $5-10, you're signed back up, and then, they have to contact you through email or a phone call and say, you know what, we want our money back because we didn't want, to sign back up, We don't do that. So, I had it happen to me. Miss Terry had it happen to her, and Dad had it happen to him. We don't like that. We don't do that. And so if it runs out and you like it, you want to sign back up. We might send you an email and tell you that it ran out. And we might say, hey, do you want to sign back up? If you do, go to the website and do it. But we're not going to do it automatically. No. That ain't who we are, and, I don't feel comfortable, doing that. So, anyways, thanks for watching. And then we'll be over on Facebook at 9 o'clock. So, be sure you guys go over there and check it out. It is awesome. And it's growing every day because, people like you. So, keep it classic, people. Stay blessed and have a great day.